Hi, as we are beginning our unit on rational functions this week, we are going to focus mostly on applications of rational functions. Yesterday you looked at some basic ratios that we could set up regarding distance and time, and today we're going to look at how we could graph these types of functions. Now, because we don't have access to graphing calculators at school like we might usually, we're going to be relying on Desmos a lot, and this first video is going to help you kind of learn how to use Desmos. So the first situation says you are taking a trip from New York City to Washington, D.C. The trip is 300 miles long. Complete the table to calculate the time of the trip based on the average speed of your car. So our rule or equation is 300 divided by x, because the trip is 300 miles and x is the speed in miles per hour. In order to start the table, I first began by labeling it. So my x column is speed in miles per hour, and then my y column is time in hours. Now we're going to open up Desmos. So you should be able to access Desmos directly from your Canvas page. So if I open up Canvas, on the left-hand side, there's a link for Desmos. So I'm going to open this in a new tab. Now, there's two places that you might want to go. So in this lower left-hand corner, it says for function and scientific calculator. If I bring up the scientific calculator, this is just like any other calculator you might use. You could use this, for example, to fill in the table. Or I can actually make a table in Desmos as well. So if we go to Start Graphing, I'm going to type in the equation in this first row here. So my equation was 300 divided by x. Now, notice I don't see anything currently on the graph. Well, that's because I need to change the window. So Desmos is a little bit easier to use, so you can actually just use your fingers to drag it in or out, kind of like you would on your phone. So here I can actually see the two parts of the graph, and we'll be talking a lot about this in the next few weeks. Now, the other thing that's helpful when we want to fill in that table is if you go, to the gear symbol up here, I can actually change this first rule, convert it to a table. Now, notice none of these x values are on the table on your note sheet. Well, that's okay. You can actually type in more below. So for example, if I want to find how long it will take if I'm driving 45 miles per hour, I would just type in 45 in the x column. So it looks like it's 6.67 hours. I would then write that into my table. So I would continue using Desmos in this way. I'm going to stop the video here, let you fill in the rest of your table. The next video will talk about how we will actually graph this and then answer the questions.